So just start by kind of settling yourself in. Be comfortable where you're sitting. So if you're sitting with your legs down on the ground, have your feet about a hip's width apart. And just close your eyes and bring your attention down to your feet. Feel the sensation of the feet on the floor, the weight of the pressure of the feet on the floor, maybe in your slippers. Just feel the sensations, temperature, texture, maybe a color comes to mind. And then just notice the sensation of the backs of the legs on your chair, on your seat. Perhaps if you have your legs in the cross-legged position, you might be feeling the weight of your feet underneath your legs. And then you'll feel the weight of your hands in your lap. So the right hand is nestled in the left, the thumbs touching in this particular tradition, or you can just rest them any way that is comfortable for you. And then just feel the sensation of your sits bones on your seat. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And what we're doing right now is in the Lam Rim teachings in this tradition, it's called the 7-point posture. Except I'm adding a few just to make it easy for us. So you're aligned your shoulders with your hips, and now align your ears with your shoulders. So I can't emphasize the importance of keeping your head in alignment. So if your head is kind of poking out beyond your shoulders, you're running the risk of, back and neck issues. So really try and keep, as we get older, our body gets a little weaker, everything starts to kind of feel a little bit more difficult to hold up. So trying as much as we can to stay aligned. And then just a little bit of length in the back of the neck. And so what this does is that just kind of allows your chin to drop down slightly. So not too much that you fall asleep. And don't remember not to have it too high, because that creates constriction in the back of the neck, right at the base of the occipital bone. And that's uncomfortable. It also creates agitation in the mind. So now go to the crown of the head and release any tension in your scalp. Relax the forehead and the eyes and the nose. Perhaps think about relaxing even your eyebrows and eyelashes and your eyeballs, the back of the eyes, particularly if you have corrective lenses. And relax the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax the back of the tongue and the jaw. Relax the back of the head. Just allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And now bring your attention to the breath, the sensations of the breath this time. Noticing as you breathe in through your nostrils, the air is a little bit cooler. And then as you exhale, the air feels a little warmer. So you can notice the sensation around the outside of the nostrils, maybe the base of the nose. So we just do, whatever kind of you feel or you can draw your attention to. And then being aware of the sensations around the chest cavity. So as you inhale, you'll notice, your chest expands. Most of us just breathe in and out of our chest. But I want you to think about breathing in 360-degree fashion. So any of you who do a lot of vigorous physical exercise, you'll know you'll need all the lung capacity you can have. If you're studying yoga as well, you will be encouraged to breathe into the back body. So if this is new for you, just imagine you're breathing into the back of behind your sternum, just about the level of your shoulder blade, the tips of your shoulder blades. So breathe in 360 degrees. Imagine you're expanding 360 degrees and your lungs are filling as well. And the diaphragm is dropping, making room. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm pushes up again, helps to assist to push out all the kind of exchanged stale air. So let's just meditate on that for just a few seconds. And maybe just breathing into the side of the ribs as well. Just getting a sense of filling your lungs. Just a few breaths. You can also feel the breath, at the belly. Some people prefer that. So as you're meditating, choose one of those three areas to focus on. It becomes like your anchor in your meditation practice. So then, you may not be in a quiet place. So just be aware of any sound in your environment, any potential distractions. Be aware that you may have a pet around or someone might knock on the door and come in. Maybe your phone will go off. Maybe you hear traffic outside. So just allow all of the sounds to be there. Allow all of the potential distractions to be there. Try not to follow it all with the mind or think about it too much. And then, just check in with yourself this evening. Just how are you doing? And then just allow those thoughts to bubble up, to arise and abide. And then just dissolve. Perhaps if the thoughts aren't particularly helpful, maybe you can just pack them up in a little suitcase and put them on a plane, send them away. It's just a visualization to one way to deal with thoughts. So with what's going on in the mind, just be aware that a lot of things we make up. So we have these scenarios in our mind about conversations, future conversations. And maybe they're not true because we don't know what the future will be. So we just make up these stories. So if you do have something like that going on your own little documentary, just realize that it may not happen the way you think it might be or the way it's formulating in your mind. And this way, we try and stay in the present, being present, showing up for ourselves and for the people in our life. So then we have in this particular tradition a beautiful meditation around equanimity. I think, through the events of this past month, it would be really something I think the world needs right now. But anyway, the way it works is a very basic, simple meditation, and it's the first meditation that you're taught when you start to think about developing compassion and bodhicitta, which is a more advanced practice. But you have three people. The first person is the one you love, your dearest friend. Put them on on your left. And then there's the one you don't like at all and have them, you know, in front facing you. And then there's the ones you really strangers, we don't know anything about that person, but they don't really impact us. We might see them walking down the street or, in the as we're driving on the freeway. Do you ever take any notice of who might be in the car next to you? You just see a car. You don't really think about who's in there and what their life might be like. Well, you might, but you're mainly thinking about yourself and your own life and getting home and why is that person going so slow? Maybe. So the interesting thing about these relationships we have is that due to impermanence, they could change place at any time, and this may have happened to you already in your life. Your relationships shift and change. And then the other way to think is that these people are all equal. They're just like you and me, and that they want to be happy and they don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we will do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So I just want to start this evening by just focusing on the breath, first of all. So we'll just focus on the breath as you inhale and exhale for 3 minutes. We'll just do 3 minutes. And just notice the breath as it flows in and flows out. And try and keep your body in that nice alignment. And try and be aware of the point at which your mind departs, starts to travel. Everyone just relax. You can stay in meditation if you wish. I'm just going to start us thinking about mindfulness and functional thinking. So last week we looked a little bit at this idea of thinking. We did meditation on the breath, and then we looked at meditating on thoughts and just becoming more aware of what thoughts might be arising. And then as a way to try and deal with all this massive information that we get in our mind, this stream of huge amounts of things that sort of kind of come in to our brain, we just thought we'd categorize things as, oh, I'm thinking, oh, hey, that's planning. It's almost by naming it, giving it a name, makes it easier to manage. So when you start to apply this discerning wisdom to your thought processes, you become aware of the variety of thinking that you engage in. So not all of our thoughts are necessarily dysfunctional or harmful, and we actually engage in quite a bit of functional thinking. And functional thinking, has enabled our species to adapt. And our ability to think is really important to our problem-solving abilities and our creativity. So, in this practice of mindfulness of thinking, as we start to become more aware of what's going on in our mind, we can refine our discernment more and more. And then we can just differentiate the different types of thinking we're involved in, where our attention is going. So thoughts from the past, you can maybe note that as, oh, I'm remembering. So in this way, we're sort of separating ourselves from becoming involved in the emotion around the thoughts. So when you start thinking about your next trip, oh, that's planning. Or you're even just planning what you're going to eat for lunch tomorrow, and how do I have to organize myself in order to make my lunch so I can get out the door in time? And those involved in fantasies might be, oh, here I am daydreaming. So in this way, you become more and more mindful and a little bit wiser in regards to the types of habitual thinking we tend to engage in. And then once you start to become aware of your thought habits, at least you know what they are, then you can sort of start thinking about how to change them. So here we're sort of like using mindfulness and our discerning wisdom. And you can sort of think about the amount of, or become aware of the amount of functional thinking that you're actually engaging in. And when you start to sort of focus your mind on all the ways in which you are thinking functionally, it kind of strengthens your recognition of these thoughts. Don't ignore them. We tend to put all of our attention onto the negative thoughts. They're so much louder. It's almost like we take the positive things for granted. But the negative thoughts are so loud. So we can start also, labeling them as well. Here I am, oh, look, I'm worrying here. Okay, this is just a bunch of worrying thoughts. It does separate you a little bit from the emotion of that. And then we can have, remembering. We can have daydreaming. And then even noting or labeling these thoughts or concepts is also a form of thinking. And this kind of can be regarded as functional thinking because it serves the function of helping to strengthen the discernment of thoughts and sort of protects you from falling back into believing in and following the involuntary thoughts. So it's, in a way, gives you a little bit more control and just awareness. Like a lot of the time, we're not even aware of what we're thinking. And reinforces the recognition of the sort of type of habitual thinking our mind may tend to get caught up in. And maybe we have some reactivities that drive our choices and actions. And maybe if we weren't reacting, we wouldn't make mistakes. We wouldn't make, bad decisions. We want to make good decisions. And then also it helps us to initiate this process of releasing and letting go of things that we're kind of grasping onto that may not be helpful. So you are removing the investment of your intention and belief in the contents of these habitual thoughts. We get so invested in the emotion. So we just kind of like got to ease ourselves away from that. And just realize that this is not the reality of your life. So before we do this next meditation, I'm going to do some 9-round breathing. And okay. So there may be some people here who haven't done this before. All right. So you take this, just the top part of your finger where the nail is, and just place it, so your hand's facing outwards. Place it on your left nostril. So I'm opposite to you. I'm mirroring you. I'm not mirroring you. I'm opposite to you. So breathe in through the right nostril. Imagine blissful, radiant white light. And fill your lungs. And then pause at the top of the breath. And then exhale through the left. Any kind of dissatisfaction or unhealthy attachment. And breathe in again through the right nostril, light. Pausing at the top of the breath. And then exhale all of your unhealthy attachments or maybe addictions. And just breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. And breathe in again, light, through the right. Pausing at the top of the breath. And then exhale all of your dissatisfaction and unhealthy attachment energy. And then breathing in through the left nostril, light. Change hands. Pause at the top of the breath. Exhale through the right, all of any anger energy. And anger includes also just bitterness and grudges and jealousy. Just breathe all of that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. And breathe in light through the left. Pause at the top of the breath and then exhale through the right, all of your anger. Breathe in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger. Now breathing in through both nostrils, light. Nice full breath. Pause and then exhale all of your ignorance. So ignorance conventionally can mean just not understanding something or not knowing how to get somewhere without a map. So you're ignorant of how to get there. But in our tradition, they talk about being ignorant of, this being not aware of understanding this idea of karma, cause and effect, action, reaction, not really appreciating or even thinking about it much. And then they also talk about not really understanding how things truly exist. So, on a conventional level, it can also just be plain old, whatever you think ignorance is. So breathe in, exhale all of your ignorance as thick black yucky smoke. You're resting both hands in your lap. And as you breathe in again, light, pause, and then exhale all of your ignorance. And imagine you're exhaling all your confusion as well, because ignorance tends to lead to confusion. Then breathe in again, light, pause, and then exhale all of your ignorance and your confusion. That's the end of the first round, and we do 2 more rounds. So just quickly to let you know, this meditation is also known as dispelling the airs. The mind rides on the wind. The mind influences the wind. The wind influences the mind. So we try and keeping it all calm as best we can. So this is one exercise, helps to bring the winds into the central channel. So breathing in through the right nostril, light. Pausing at the top of the breath. Exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction and unhealthy attachment energy. And breathing in light through the right. Pause, exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction. Breathing in through the right, light. Pause, exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction energy. Now breathing in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, any anger. Breathing in through the left, light. And pausing, and then exhale through the right, all of your anger energy. And then one more time, breathing in through the left, light. Just move that finger over to the left nostril and breathe out and exhale all your anger. Now breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause and then exhale all of your ignorance and confusion. Just breathe in again, light. Pause and then exhale all of your ignorance and your confusion. And breathe in again, light. Breathe in, light. And then exhale all your confusion and your ignorance. Now imagine you're cleaning the dust off your mirror of wisdom. And then we start again, our last round. Breathing in through the right nostril, light. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your unhealthy attachment and dissatisfaction energy. And not feeling like you're good enough. Breathing in again, light, through the right. Breathe out through the left. All this kind of not feeling good enough, insecurity. Just breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke. It's just dissatisfaction with yourself. And breathe in again, light through the right. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction energy. Breathe in through the right, light. And pause and exhale all of your dissatisfaction. Change hands. Breathing in through the left now, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger. Now breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause, exhale all of your ignorance and confusion. Breathing in again, light. Pause, exhale, ignorance, confusion. And breathe in light. And then exhale all of your ignorance and your confusion. And now just feel how you're doing compared to just 35 minutes ago. So now we'll settle back into meditation and we'll do another few minutes of focusing on the breath. And just notice if your mind is traveling anywhere, and very gently bring it back to the breath. Everyone just relax. I want to have a quick check-in and see how everyone's doing. You can stay in meditation if you wish. If you have something you want to share or say, please unmute yourself. Otherwise, we'll just keep going. Okay. So we're going to do another meditation. If you want to have a little wriggle, just go ahead and do that. So this is a meditation on mindfulness of thoughts. Excuse me, I'm just going to something to drink. So we're going to here we're just going to pay attention to different types of thoughts that arise during the meditation. So you may have already had a bit of these last two little meditations we did. You may have had a bit of an experience of that. So you'll use the sensations of the breath as support or an anchor for your attention during the gaps between the thoughts or when you find yourself feeling dull and drowsy. So you just return your attention back to the breath, and it just becomes a point of reference. It's like home base, and it sort of helps you to discern your thoughts without getting caught up in them. So your breath is like a friend that accompanies you on your meditation journey. And you don't have to feel that you need to focus on it all the time, but it's there. It's with you 24/7. It's probably the most intimate relationship you'll ever have, the one you have with your breath. So we're going to start again, as I was mentioning before. Make a note in your mind, I'm thinking. And then when you become aware that the thoughts have arisen in the mind, just repeat the process. And then just work on refining the thoughts as you become aware, of what you're actually thinking about, what you're starting to discern. So once you become a little bit more proficient in, it's almost like catching yourself. Oh, I'm thinking, recognizing I'm thinking. You can refine your power of discernment by differentiating the different types of thinking your attention is involved in. And you can replace the simple label of thinking with others that might better reflect the contents of your thoughts. So thoughts about the past could be remembering. And you can use your own words. You don't have to use mine. You can have planning thoughts and you can have fantasy thoughts, daydreaming. And then you can just get a little bit more mindful about what it is you are engaged in thinking about. So just go settle back in your meditation. Just check your alignment and just rest your hands where they're comfortable. Allow your shoulders to be relaxed. And just return your attention to your body and just notice the simple sensations there as you settle your body into meditation again. And notice any areas of softness and ease and relaxation and comfortable feelings. And can you welcome these feelings and allow yourself to enjoy them while they're here? And also notice areas of tension or discomfort, and can you just acknowledge those for the time being? Do you need to change them immediately? Can you just let them be? And then just check your face. Are you tensing up your facial muscles? The forehead, around the eyes, the jaw. Can you relax your face and let in a different feeling, one of softness and ease and comfort? And you can allow this softening and relaxing to spread on its own to the rest of the body and help your body to settle into meditation in its own time. And then just notice your breath, the subtle sensations around your nostrils as you inhale and exhale. Maybe you notice the movement in your chest, your ribs, your lungs, and then maybe other people may just notice the belly. So just rest your attention on one of those breath sensations, and allow yourself to fully experience your inhale and exhale. Now, just be aware of your breath. Focus your attention on the breath. And every time you notice yourself exhaling, use it as an opportunity to release anything unhelpful or unwanted. Just like the way we breathe out to let go of the stale air in our lungs. Regard your breath as a resting place for your attention, a place you can always come back to steady your mind. And as you're sitting there, your introspection might just kind of send out a little alert to the presence of thoughts or what you're already thinking about. And turn your attention to those thoughts and recognize, oh, I'm engaged in thinking. Mentally note thinking. And then maybe you can get a little bit more detailed and go, oh, I'm thinking about, these are kind of planning thoughts. I'm thinking about the future. Or this is a memory. So you're separating yourself a little bit from the emotion of the thought. So we'll just do this for a few minutes. And when you notice your mind has traveled, you're moved away from the meditation, then just very gently bring your mind back. think everyone just relax for a moment. Just want to check in. Anybody have anything you want to share before we continue? Don't be shy. I don't know where our Indian person is.
I'll share a little bit.
Thank you, Anthony. Nice to.
You're welcome. Um, so the exercise we just went through was helpful for me.
Uh-huh.
Because as I'm starting to practice, and I kind of, I don't know if it was confusion or just as I know the intent is to not stop thinking, but kind of just being observant of the thought. And when I try to be observant of the thought, I tend to continue into thoughts, right? And
Okay.
it's a lot easier when you almost focus on the breath, kind of as the object to stop thinking. So just kind of noticing that within myself, I guess.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it's really impossible to stop thinking. There's a lot of misconceptions about what mindfulness meditation is, and I don't know if they're doing it so much anymore, but people were thinking that they need to stop thinking, but you're never going to stop thinking. The mind's always working, even if it's giving you information about what's going on in your body, or it just doesn't stop. So, the best thing we can do is to not get involved in the emotion surrounding the thoughts. But I think I like what you said about, it's being confused. And then it sounded as if you were saying that once you start to categorize things, it just made it simpler. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, and it's kind of getting used to the yeah, categorizing and realizing that that's a thought, and yeah, is that work or this or that.
Right. That's a
Just
work thought. And then you were using the breath to come back home, that's great too. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and I did want to share last week. You just shared the something along the lines of we can control what we put into our hearts through our thoughts, and I really thought that was nice, and I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Yeah. A lot of this stuff is easier said than done as well. But we can try and practice. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to share anything before we continue? I see a note down here. Let me see if the 7 points. Mary wants to know about the 7 points. I might have an image somewhere. But the 7 points are, let me see. Your legs are crossed in the full Vajra posture. So the right foot over the left thigh, etc., etc. Your hands are resting in the lap in the meditation mudra. Right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. That's 2. Your shoulders are aligned with your hips. Sorry, maybe they don't include that. You imagine your spine just being very long. I think you do align your shoulders with your hips. And then the head is just very slightly tipped forward, so the chin is down. So not too far down, but so that's the position of the head. So you have a little bit of length in the neck. And then there's the eyes. The eyes are looking down about underneath closed eyelids, about a 45-degree angle. Have I got all the parts of the body in there? Was that 7?
Yeah, when you said 7 points, I was thinking of 7 points of where pressure is.
Oh, no. It's
But
the
it's
7,
different. It's just seven, the seven aspects. Yeah.
the 7 things to think about when you.
Okay.
But I've added a few because I wanted people to make sure they were aligned correctly. Yeah.
So,
I can find a picture and bring it next week if you like.
so if you're
Yes.
sitting on a pillow though, so the pressure is on your sits bone, I guess, and your knees.
Ah, yes. So if you're sitting like in a Zen, have you got like a little wooden bench underneath your legs?
Just a pillow. Yeah,
Ah,
pillows.
or just a pillow. So you're sitting in Vajrasana. Uh, you are. Okay. So
Hmm.
in that case, you're going to be feeling, I just want people to draw their attention to the sensations in the lower part of the body to start with. Particularly, yeah, so if you're sitting in Vajrasana, you have your lower legs underneath your upper legs. So you'll be feeling your hamstrings and your calves. Yes or no? Your
Really?
knees are your
Yeah.
knees are bent underneath you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you'll probably, I don't know how your feet are. It'll be angled, depend on the shape of your feet and
Yeah,
they're
they're
like that.
hmm hmm
Underneath?
Yep.
Okay.
And my cat's here. Yeah. One's in front of the other.
Are you
And
sitting
my
cross-legged?
yeah. And
Oh,
my
you're
knees,
cross-legged. Ah,
well, my knees are down on the ground and now my spine is up on a pillow. That's, you know.
oh, so you've got your coccyx slightly raised. Yeah, I have too. And that's another point.
Okay.
That's another point that they make is that you, in order to help straighten the pelvis, that pelvic region,
Hmm.
because a lot of us are very tight in our lower back. So if
Hmm.
you don't have something to sit on to kind of prop your coccyx up, you're
Hmm.
going to end up rounded like this. It helps to keep the
Oh, yeah.
spine straight. So
Okay.
you need to raise your just so I mean it doesn't have to be any more than about this, but it depends on your own flexibility. And the main thing is that you're comfortable. Like you don't have to sit this way if it's not comfortable for you. You know, I've got one person in our Vajrasattva and he's in hospice now, so he's kind of zooming out of his bed. So he's just lying down. But so you know, if that's where you're at right now, that's where you're at. But yeah, you don't have to sit like that. But you'll be like I am, you're feeling not necessarily so much your sits bones, but your coccyx, perhaps. But you could be feeling maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it feels better to tilt a little forward, but if it's not other people's questions, then probably we shouldn't spend too much time with it.
No, no, I'm happy
Okay.
to, yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. All right.
And the equanimity, so the thinking is important and thoughts and um in our first session, I think you talked about even swallowing would be too distracting.
For some, yeah, when
Whereas-
people get very subtle in their meditation practice, some of they're up in the mountains, they've been meditating for months on end. Even when they start to, you can imagine how that would be a distraction.
So,
Yeah.
so that brought a whole different
Oh,
reality to me that I
oh,
never
okay.
even. And then you were saying to be able to have a wet sheet around you and to jump into the snow and to dry the sheet, to have that kind of focus of mind
Yes.
is pretty profound, and it actually helps settle me um, and simplify things for me a little bit. Like just
Oh,
simply
okay.
get comfortable, really get comfortable in your body, which you always help us to do at the beginning of our time.
Mm,
And so fully find comfort and ease and then simplify things so that you can just relax the mind, basically. So that's been all really helpful to me. You briefly brought up what's been going on this week, and that immediately invoked emotions in me, or Leo invokes emotions in me, incredible sadness. And so, again, this equanimity and struggling with that.
mm.
Anyway, just,
I think everyone is right now. It's
yeah.
so difficult to see what has been happening and to really good people. And it's heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking. And it's not just I didn't really want to touch on this, but anyway, it's not just those two individual lives that we saw end
Right.
in such a public way. It's the whole
Mhm.
gestalt around how that was able to happen.
Right. So,
That's yeah. So anyway, go on.
so just that picture that you gave us, that's commonly thought about as people who we care about, feel affinity to, and then people who we don't, and then the
Yeah.
people who are strangers. And that just brought a whole new light to it when we talked about that later, and just thinking, wow, okay, these people too, all these people want to just be happy. And I don't understand all people. Um, it's a challenge for me. So, but it helped a little bit. So thank you.
I mean, it for me also just helps. So you're like that person also has a mother somewhere and a sister and a cousin, and that person is loved by someone somewhere. And that might not be my person, but somebody else loves them and sees them differently. And they just want to be happy and they don't want to suffer and they have fear and but it also doesn't mean to say that you have to invite that person home to your house.
No.
It's just about because when you start having anger in your mind, it impacts you. It doesn't actually impact that person, but it's a way of changing how you're thinking so your mind can just be a little less in turmoil and to have so equanimity is also not about cutting off your emotions. It's just about trying to calm everything down and
Yeah,
taking a step back in a way. Yeah.
right.
But yeah, um, yeah, anyway. So,
Yeah, the meta, that meta prayer or whatever it is, wishing the other to
oh,
be,
may all beings be happy.
yeah, safe and healed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do that one actually in, oh, we're going to do that now.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we're going to do that's a meditation that's coming right up
Okay.
from the Hinayana
Mhm.
people, but we're using that. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you, yeah, we're going to do that right now.
That was my blessing for my son and his new wife at their wedding.
Oh, no way. That's beautiful. You don't look old enough to have a son who's married, but anyway. All right. Anybody else before we continue? No, okay. All righty. Let's keep going. Um, so this is so we're now trying to support functional thinking a little bit more. So just settle back into your meditation. Um, so, when you get into the different types of meditation that we've done in this course, and we've done concentration meditation, which is that when we're focusing on the breath. We've done visualization meditation, which we do a little bit with 9-round breathing, and we do analytical meditation. So, examination and evaluation. So think about this practice of loving kindness. So when you bring to mind a loved one, by allowing a visual image of the person to appear to you, this is analytical thinking. We're attending to this person with mindfulness. And we can also examine what we know about this person. And we can also maybe think about all their good qualities and their many loving, kind actions towards us. And then we might respond with a heartfelt feelings of loving kindness. So in this way, mindfulness, reflection, and discerning wisdom have contributed to and enhanced this wonderful quality of loving kindness. And we can also apply the same process to ourselves. making ourselves the focal object of our own reflection and practice of loving kindness. So this practice of mindfulness and discerning wisdom, it doesn't only allow us to inquire and get a better understanding of the object under consideration. We can nurture the positive qualities that have arisen and sort of focus on them, bring mindful attention to them. So we're going to do loving kindness towards self now. So again, just settle, allow your body to soften, and particularly allow your face to soften. And we're going to extend loving kindness towards ourselves. We're just using a few simple phrases. You can experiment later with different words, but we'll just do the ones here. We're just going to focus, channel our attention in the direction of genuine care and concern towards ourselves. And then allow your heart time to respond with appropriate feelings when it's ready. So your mindful awareness encompasses both yourself as the object of kindness and the inner quality of loving kindness as it sort of like suffuses your mind and heart. So in order to facilitate this arising of genuine loving kindness, in between our repetitions of phrases of loving kindness, we pause to reflect on the basis of having ourselves as the recipient of our own loving concern. We can just in our equanimity meditation, as we did there, we can see that we are just like everyone else, in that all of us wants to be happy and not to suffer. So reflect on this validity in relation to your own experiences. Is that true, that you really want to be happy and not to suffer? So there's other reasons to strengthen this quality of loving kindness towards yourself. You know, for some people, you could see the goodness within you. Maybe you have a yearning for love or remembering experiences of past happiness and wishing that for yourself. And then maybe there's no reason to extend loving kindness towards yourself. So again, going back, you know, sitting, lying in a chair, wherever you are. So just allow your spine to be in a natural and comfortable position and rest your hands and arms somewhere comfortable. And return your attention to your body and just be in touch with the simple sensations there. Allow softness and ease and relaxation with comfortable feelings. Can you welcome these feelings and allow yourself to enjoy them while they're there? And also notice areas of tension or tightness with uncomfortable feelings. And can you simply acknowledge them for the time being? Don't feel that you need to change them for the better. And then just check in with your face. Are you tensing up any of your facial muscles? The forehead, the eyes, the jaw. And can you gently relax these muscles and let in a different feeling, one of softness, ease, and comfort into your face? And just allow this softness and relaxation to spread on its own to the rest of your body and help your body to settle into meditation in its own time. So we just have a few simple phrases here that best express an understanding of what it means to love and to care and to show concern. So may I live in safety. Wishing oneself to feel safe and have security in life. May I be happy. Wishing oneself to feel joy, cheerfulness, and happiness in the mind and heart. May I be healthy. Wishing oneself to enjoy physical health and well-being. May I live with ease. Wishing one's daily life and work flowing smoothly and easily. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So you can, as we meditate here, you can say those phrases over again. I'll keep repeating them, but just do them at your own pace. And just stay connected to the intention behind the words, extending loving kindness towards yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So don't worry if you're not feeling particularly loving. Just allow your heart plenty of time to respond in its own way. You can rely on the words to guide your heart towards loving kindness. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So when you keep saying these on occasion, warm feelings of love and kindness might arise. And you can entwine them among the phrases and offer them back to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So in between the repetitions, you can reflect on the basis that support or promote loving kindness towards yourself. Deep down, we all want to be happy. We don't want to suffer. We all want to be safe. And can you pause and think about this statement? Is it true for you? And how does this wish to be happy manifest in your life? And when you're ready, come back to the phrases and offer loving kindness to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So they say when you're doing a meditation like this, you may start to get a glimpse of this sense of loving kindness towards yourself. So if you catch that and then try and hold that feeling in your heart as much as you can, you might have to give your own heart a little bit of time to respond. May I live in safety. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I live with ease. I got those two mixed around. It doesn't matter though. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So you can also reflect on other reasons to activate loving kindness for you. So maybe you see the goodness within yourself, your own kindness. Maybe you have past experiences of happiness that you want to continue. Maybe you have this yearning for love within. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So we'll just meditate for a couple more minutes, and then I want to check in again with everyone before the end of the session. I know everyone, before we stop, just imagine, just feel again the sensations of your feet. So whether your feet are down on the ground or whether they're underneath you, if you're sitting cross-legged or on your knees, then just feel the sensation of the weight of your legs and your feet. Then maybe your pelvic area on your cushion. Your hands in your lap. And just have your eyes angled at about a 45-degree angle towards your keyboard, maybe. And then just, when you're ready, just crack open your eyes just a tiny bit and look in an unfocused gaze towards your keyboard, or just allow a little light in. And then maybe just blink open your eyes and bring your mind back to the same place your body is. How's everyone doing? How was that, Stephen? Did you enjoy the session? And I invite you to come back next week.
Yeah. Yes, I did enjoy the session. I
Good.
realized that it's going to take me, it seems like a long time to get to a point where the loving kindness is there.
Yeah, I know. Towards yourself?
Towards myself, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you're talking about breathing out the anger and the confusion. And again, it seems like, wow, that's going to be a really tall mountain to climb to get rid of as much as I can of that.
Well, starting anywhere is great.
Mhm.
So you've started, and you're
Yes.
only just going to keep moving forward from there. But you have obviously a lot of awareness of what's going on in your mind, and that's fantastic. Not
Mhm.
everybody does.
Well, my mind is always talking to me. It's
Yeah,
like,
of course.
stop. So,
Hi, it's
yeah,
you again.
right, exactly. Yes, right.
I think you're not alone here. Look at the faces in the room. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for sharing. But we're all in the same boat. But you've started the work, so fantastic. Congratulations.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for coming.
Oh,
And yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing as well.
sure. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. I
Yeah,
look forward to seeing you next week.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Stephen. Anyone else before we go? No? All righty. Phyllis, you normally have something to say. Oh, you're muted.
I'm so glad to come. Oh, it
Oh,
helps.
good. It's nice to
I'm
see
late.
you.
Even though I have to come late, I appreciate so much being
Well,
here. And
thank you. I'm glad you're here.
thank you.
It's nice to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Phyllis has done this course about 3 or 4 times now, right? Something like that.
Yes, and other places too, but
I
yes,
know. Okay.
never ends.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a never-ending job working on our mind. And we certainly have lots of material right now to help us see where we're at. But Stephen, I just wanted to address this one of how difficult it is. It's really interesting in this course that they put the loving kindness for yourself before the loving kindness meditation for others. So that's the one we'll do next week. But there's just this idea of you need to sort of focus on loving kindness for yourself before you can start thinking about other people, because it's a lot easier to think about other people and send loving kindness out to other people. We tend not to want to do it towards ourselves. Somehow we think we're not deserving. It's ridiculous. And, if you were to put an image of yourself in front, and we might do this next week, if you put an image of yourself in front of yourself and start to list all your own good qualities, you might have difficulty. And the group that I do this meditation with, this group at the YMCA, I teach in on up in Marin, and they all find they have trouble with that one, listing their own good qualities. Anyway, I'm going to end now because I have to go and have a bite to eat before my next session at 8 o'clock. And I just wanted to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for coming all the way from Bali, Nim and Debbie. And just they sort of, we like to do a little kind of a dedication at the end, is to sort of any good energy, any insights, any creativity that may have arisen in your mind. Looks like, Stephen, you had lots of insights, so just dedicate all of that out to yourself and as you're moving along our spiritual path, and then to all the beings, all your friends, your enemies, and your strangers. Okay, everyone, lots of love. Thank you, Shayla. I'll see you in 30 minutes, and the rest of you, I'll see you maybe in 30 minutes or next week sometime. Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.